Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse podcast. This is episode number 487. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today we've got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how's it going?
Going pretty well. How about you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Nice. This week on the show, we'll be taking a look at Bad Things, which is streaming now on Shudder. We'll also be going over some we're watching on the watch list and this week's new releases in theaters, VOD, and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us this week. New Saved by the 90s. We're going to be recording that this week, so it should be dropping soon, hopefully. We're doing Amblin films.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this because we're doing some that I'm very familiar with, Arachnophobia being one of them. That's one of my all-time favorites. I love that movie so much. And we're covering that one, but we're also covering a couple that are like a little bit more obscure, like Noises Off from Peter Bogdanovich, and there's one I think called The Trigger Effect, which like I'm not even familiar with at all. And then the fourth one we're going to be doing is Joe versus the Volcano.
Yes.
So very excited for that. With that, let's go ahead and get into Bad Things. This is written and directed by Stuart Thorndike. I have a synopsis here. A group of friends go to a hotel for a weekend getaway and soon discover that women do bad things here. Okay. All right. We'll start with you, Kevin. What were your initial impressions of Bad Things?
Yeah. This is... I was worried that this was going to be something that I'm all too familiar with, movie-wise. You know, which is she crazy? Mm-hmm. Are these things real?
Yeah.
And wow, it is that the movie. Like
yeah.
The whole thing is that. And I was just like, I just don't care. Because not only is it that, but so much of this, until it starts posing that question, it's just nothing happening.
Yeah.
Just absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very inconsequential movie. Like let me retract that a little bit. Things do have consequences at the end, but
do they though?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess
who knows? I don't know.
Like I just didn't think there was much here. I didn't find this to be very much of substance. Like, I didn't particularly like any of the characters. I didn't think that the characters had much personality. I thought that they were all pretty grating, which is a shame because I do like the actors involved here, most of whom I haven't seen before. Gail Rankin, obviously, I've seen her in a bunch of stuff, and I thought that she does a really good job in this role, but her character I found to be very annoying, and I think the other characters I found to be kind of annoying as well. And where it goes, it just feels like there's just not enough here. The kind of surreal horror moments, as it were, amount to really nothing, and like it's not that creepy. Like I like the joggers. Like I think that's supposed to be creepy, maybe, but it's not really. And then like even the scenes that are supposed to like really kind of stick out for you, like the scene when she goes into the like dining room area and there's those people, like there's like no impact there. And I think that this is a movie that is obviously heavily influenced by The Shining, which is probably never a good thing for a movie to like have that much influence from The Shining, because there's just no way you could ever you can't stack up against something like that. But it's impossible, at least for me, it was impossible not to compare the two.
Oh, yeah. No, it is. It's completely impossible.
I will also say, though, one thing I did like was the hotel itself. Like, I really liked the look of the hotel. I thought that the setting was quite good. I like movies that take place in kind of rough looking hotels like this. So that, I think it at least had that going for it, but that was really where the extent of my enjoyment for this movie where it ended. Everything else I thought was just so kind of nothing. It was just nothing.
It's just absolute nothing. And to kind of piggyback off of your point of like the characters, it kind of being, for the most part, irritating or grating. It's another prime example of like within the first, gosh, I don't know, like 5 seconds, my immediate thought is, why are you guys friends?
Yeah, I
Like
know.
you clearly seem to hate each other. Like, why are you friends?
They all hate each other, and even like the one that they bring, the other two were like, why'd you even bring her? And like, it's like everybody seems to hate each other from the very beginning.
Yeah.
None of them seem to get along at all, even the ones that are in a relationship with each other. And it's like, why are you going through this?
Just leave.
just leave. Just leave. Also, am I mistaken? Did I miss something? Because the opening scene was them arriving in a truck, right? Like they were pulling up in a truck. What happened? What happened to the truck? Because for the whole time they're like, "Oh, we got to get an Uber." Oh, there is no Uber. Like, what happened to the truck? I might have missed something there, but
yeah, that's a good point. I don't remember what happened to the truck.
The other thing I liked was that a CPAP mask played a big role in this movie. Shout outs to my CPAP wearers out there.
Oh, that's right. You wear a CPAP.
I do.
That's
Not like the one that's in this movie, but I do wear one. I wear
Incredible.
I rock the nasal pillows, which is just like a little thing that goes under your nose. It's not like the full on mask.
I don't know what the fuck that is. Nasal pillow.
Yeah, they're just like these little gel.
Well, okay. Let me say this is that okay, I'm seeing them now, but the idea of me learning about a nasal pillow is far more enticing than talking about the movie Bad Things from 2023. That gives you any idea.
Yeah, let's just talk about CPAP supplies instead of bad things.
This is just a world that I'm not familiar with.
It was kind of weird too. Like when the one scene where she's like, "I tried on your mask," and
yeah, that's fucked up.
And she's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, why would you do that? Oh, just weird. And then like also there was like a whole thing where she had the CPAP on, but she was like getting up and like talking and stuff. Like, you don't do that. Like, you just turn it off because it's blasting air through your nose. It's hard to like talk while it's on.
Well, maybe that's part of the movie. Does she even need a CPAP machine?
Ooh, well, I don't know.
Making it up.
Well, I do. I do love it. Sorry. At one point, there's like a slasher. There's like a slasher element to this movie. I remember when I first looked this up on Letterboxd, I saw somebody mention Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I'm like, I was like well over halfway through this movie, and I'm like, I do not see Texas Chainsaw at all in this. And then when the killing started, I was like, okay, well, I still don't really see it. There's a chainsaw involved, but I would not compare it to that movie at all. But I do like the fact that the killer wore the CPAP hose as like their hockey mask, like that was their version of the hockey mask as a fucking CPAP thing. Oh man.
And later on in this movie, I can't remember exactly when, but they start kind of broaching that topic of like, are you just imagining these things? Are these things really happening? And I was kind of checked out by the time that came around, but as soon as that came about, I grabbed my time card, slid it into the machine, and I punched that shit as hard as possible.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I am fucking done. And especially with like the end, like it makes no fucking sense.
No.
It makes no sense. And I just don't care. Like when you do that kind of stuff, I don't care.
I feel like you really have to earn that. If you're going to go with that, you really got to earn it. And I feel like this movie just didn't do a good job of doing that. Like,
No.
you don't care about the characters enough to make a determination about, like, oh, maybe she is crazy, and like, wait a minute, if she's crazy, then how did the other girl like see all that other stuff too? And like, well, who really was the masked killer? And what did she do? Well, what happened with her mom? Did she? And also, like, I saw the trailer for this, and it was talking about like a superstar performance from Molly Ringwald, and I'm like, dude, she was in this movie for like 2 scenes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, Molly Ringwald is great. Don't get me wrong. And I think I think what
you don't have to give her pity praise.
Exactly. Like, yeah, her performance in this is good, but I don't think you could like highlight it, because it is literally like one major scene, and then like, the recorded scenes and stuff. But like, she's not a major player in this. So don't go seeing this movie thinking that you're going to get a tour de force from Molly Ringwald, because she's basically absent.
Yeah, you're going to be highly disappointed.
Yeah.
Highly disappointed.
Yeah, so this is the same director that did Lyle, which I remember not liking Lyle. At least I don't think I did. But I barely remember that movie. I remember bits and pieces of it, but that's pretty much it. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I am not into bad things. It is just not my jam. So
no, absolutely not. I had a great Saturday otherwise.
Oh, well, that's good.
But this chunk of watching this movie was just like, wow, I wasted a part of my day.
I saw a pretty cool movie right before this, so it was.
I saw a cool ass movie after this. I can't wait to fucking talk about it.
Well, let's go ahead and give this thing a score. I'm at like a 2 on this.
Yeah, I'm a 1.
All right, that's Bad Things. If you care to give it a look, it's on Shudder, but I just can't. Yeah, I can't recommend it. Let's move on. Talk about some of what we've been watching, Kevin. It is your turn this week, so why don't you get us started?
Okay, Lawnmower Man, the Lawnmower Man,
the one and only Lawnmower Man. Not to be confused with the Lawnmower Man 2 Beyond Cyberspace.
Oh, I'm watching that next weekend, motherfucker. I'm telling you that right now.
That one is, I'll tell you right now, that one is far worse than the first one.
I just want to say that this might be the most ludicrous and just outright ridiculous thing I've ever seen in terms of a movie. Like, this is just fucking batshit insane. Between the story is nuts in itself, but the CGI or the computer effects or whatever the fuck you want to call it, I don't even know what the fuck it is. I've never seen this shit before. I don't know what it is.
It's technically it is CG. It's CG,
but I feel like it's one of those things that, like, it's one of the like missing links that if you weren't a part of it, like, I never experienced like beta tapes or whatever the fuck, so I have no experience with them. This is just something that I've never seen before, and I was just like, oh shit, this is like in the history of the world. Like, I didn't know that.
It's like Reboot, like what Ryan always says when he compares bad CG to the show Reboot.
Dude, and the fact that this movie starts with that CG in this virtual reality world that looks nothing like, why are you making virtual reality look like this? Doesn't make any sense. And the fact that it's a chimpanzee that's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's being forced to murder, and he doesn't seem that happy about it in the VR world. And then outside of the VR world, he's like, well, fuck, I'm gonna try and get out and kill people. And like, that's your introduction to this world and what this story is. And I was so completely lost for like the first 5-7 minutes. because I'm just like, I don't. Is this a movie about a chimp? I don't understand. What is this?
I just
And
love
then
that.
that ends.
I love the title. I just love that it's called The Lawnmower Man.
I
Like,
know.
what a title!
And he is. He's a
He
lawnmower man.
literally is a lawnmower man. Yeah.
And he takes that shit seriously. His lawnmower is incredible, although the job that it does kind of looks really shitty, unless their lawns are just really shitty. I don't know where these people are living, but their lawns look like shit. Just some wispy ass grass get mulched up.
Oh, crab
Just
grass.
and it's just there's no like safety mechanism on that bad boy. But then he gets picked to be because he's simple. God made him simple. Science is going to make him a god now. And who's science? Pierce Brosnan.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to turn him into God, which he does. Success, cha-ching. No money, though. He makes him into God. And I love that he's like, man, I kind of miss doing the lawn thing. So one of my powers is going to be VR telepathic, I guess?
Sort of.
Lawnmower
Yeah.
Man.
Pretty much, yeah.
Where his mouth is the lawnmower blades.
Mm-hmm.
And he mulches the guy's brain.
Mm-hmm.
Just mulches it. And you don't know whatever happened. Like, no one's ever going to know what happened to that guy. But we know, which is insane to me. I saw a computer-animated head with old school, like, Amish blades, lawnmower blades, as a mouth, and just mulched his brain. And then he turns other people into, like, bouncy balls. The bees. I forgot about the bees.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking bees. Like, electronic, radioactive, nuclear bees. Just, holy shit. This was just, I had so much fun. I just want you to know how much fun I had.
I mean, I can imagine. It's out of control. We I think we reviewed this on Say by the 90s back in the day, and I think I also made a video to accompany it, and I talked about this movie along with the Lawnmower Man video games.
Oh, that's right.
There
I
were like
think I do vaguely remember that. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it.
Yeah,
Because this movie is just,
it's wild, man.
dude.
I like revisiting this movie. I love 90s cyberspace movies. I think that there's not that many of them, but man, the ones that are out there hit so hard, and this is definitely one of the best.
He fucking hacks into the network node.
Yeah.
Fucking Lawnmower Man's trying to get, like, he's trying to upload himself.
Yep.
To it.
The
And
end,
he does. And then you see him.
The end is bonkers.
Just Pierce Brosnan and a fucking gyroscope. Just flinging around all over the place. Just screaming, curling up in a ball while he's spinning, gyrating.
Yeah, which doesn't really make sense. The whole, like, I feel like they just wanted to include one of those things because they were, like, really popular attractions in the 90s. At least from what I remember as a kid, like they always had one of those things at like every fair, and you know,
100%.
every attraction you get the gyroscope thing.
Dude, this is, I mean, I watched this after Bad Things, so I think that played into it. It gets that bump, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, but oh my god, I fucking love this so much, just so much. It's so terrible.
Yeah. And it also has that Stephen King vibe to it as well.
Which
I
didn't realize that it's Stephen King until I just put the log it. I had no idea.
It has that kind of small town, New England vibe. So I feel like it does. There's actually a documentary coming out very soon about Stephen King movies. And I wonder, I mean, I'm sure that they'll talk about the Lawnmower Man in it.
Oh, you have to. If you don't.
Oh, yeah.
But, man, I just also love that Pierce Brosnan's girlfriend, wife, I don't know, just leaves him, like, in the beginning, and he's just like...
He's like, okay. He's like cool with it. He's just like, all right, well, back to work.
Whatever.
I'm on the verge of a breakthrough.
Oh, my God.
So
man is turned into a genius through the application of computer science.
Oh man, it's so clearly written by someone who has like no concept of like technology whatsoever too, which is great.
Oh yeah.
Now I
love
can't,
it.
to be clear, like I'm talking about the movie script, not like I don't know what this is based on as far as like if it's a short story from King, or like I don't know what that is. I haven't read the book or the original story, so.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's the Lawnmower Man. That's on Tubi and Vudu free, so it looks like you can watch it for free on Vudu as well. So yeah, you can check it out on there. I saw Gonjiam Haunted Asylum from 2018. This is a South Korean film directed by Young Bum Shik. This is a found footage horror movie about a team of ghost hunters who are doing a live stream, and they're going into this like famously haunted asylum. And guess what? Things go horribly wrong, and they get attacked by the spirits, the angry spirits that are within the asylum. This is a pretty solid found footage style film. I'm not a huge fan of found footage. I believe that I've made that known multiple times on here. I've seen a million found footage movies, but every now and then there's one that I'll see that I'm like, okay, yeah, that was pretty solid. And this is one of them. There's some very creepy moments in it. Takes about 48 minutes to get going. One thing that I feel like I need to note moving forward with found footage is how long it takes to get going. Because that's like one of the big things with found footage, like most of them are famously like slow burns, which is fine. Like that's not a huge problem as long as the build up is entertaining. This build up is pretty entertaining, pretty engaging. So you do it's easy to stick with it in that first 48 minutes before the shit kind of hits the fan. The whole kind of hook here is that it's a team of 6 people, or I guess it's 7, and the 3 of them are like kind of new volunteers that they get to go on this like expedition. And what they don't know is that most of this stuff is staged. So they were planning, like the producers of the show were planning on faking all of this stuff. But then, of course, real things start to happen and everything goes to shit. So yeah, creepy imagery. They do a pretty good job of keeping the shaky cam / things that are out of focus or too zoomed in, too close, or the digital, pixelation and all that stuff. They keep that to a minimum in this, which I appreciate. There's a ton of cameras involved in this because it is supposed to be like a live stream. Each person has 2 GoPros, one facing them, one facing away from them as a POV. And then on top of that, you have like security cameras mounted. And then you also have like 2 people with like actual DSLR cameras who are filming. So they're able to get lots of angles and things so that you can actually see what's going on most of the time, which I appreciated. It's just kind of interesting because I saw this like a week after I saw The Outwaters, which is another found footage horror film that pretty much does the exact opposite of everything I just said, where most of The Outwaters, you just can't see a goddamn thing, and it's so far zoomed in that it's like, why are you even filming this? Because with The Outwaters, it was supposed to be like making a documentary or whatever. I think they were supposed to be shooting a music video or something. And it was like, what kind of person shoots like this, where you're like, the framing is so awful that you can barely see anything, and it's zoomed so far in that it's just like a blob. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, and this movie does a pretty good job of that. So I could give it a light recommend. I saw this on Shudder. It looks like it is on Tubi as well. That's Gonjiam Haunted Asylum from 2018.
Incredible.
Experience the horror is the tagline. It's pretty freaky, but it's not like... Yeah. I've seen scarier found footage, let's put it that way.
Gotcha. I watched Vesper from last year. This is a sci-fi movie. Vesper.
I was kind of curious about this one.
Well, I'm here to tell you that the story itself is, I mean, it's okay. It's not great. It drags here and there. But what I will say is, in terms of like sci-fi world building, this movie is fucking
That's
incredible.
kind of what I was thinking with after seeing the trailer of this one. I was like, okay, this looks like they're doing some serious world building.
Dude, this is absolutely nuts. So much of the landscape of this movie is incredible. It's so many different organisms. Like, you know how like some movies they'll do like a little bit of world building and it'll be relatively impressive, but then, it's like, oh, actually 80% of this movie is going to take place inside of buildings, that just kind
Right,
of have like
yeah.
a brutalist look to it. This does not do that. This is like constantly outdoors, breathing trees, just bizarre organisms out and about, just wild things happening. There's like an action sequence towards the end where the main character Vesper, she's a 13-year-old girl. She does biohacking. She biohacks stuff,
Mm.
and she creates all these organisms. She has this like little garden. She's kind of being chased, and she has these. They're like ornamental grass. And they're red, and she's like, "Oh, don't touch the grass, because if you touch them, it like shoots out insects like bullets,
Hmm.
and they're kind of like fireflies. They just burn right through you. They're that hot, and it looks incredible. It just like all of it looks way better than you would think it would look going into a movie like this. Like I was not prepared for how well the effects work, the world building, just the creativity, all of those aspects to this movie. I was not prepared for it to be as well done as it is.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to check this out now. I was
Yeah,
curious before, but yeah, now.
like in terms of like sci-fi, like the effects and world building stuff, like I mean, goddamn, this is up there.
Nice, nice. Looks like it's on Hulu.
Yes, it is.
Cool. Check that out, Vesper. The only other one that I'll mention was Sympathy for the Devil. This came out a couple weeks ago on VOD. It's directed by Yuval Adler, and it stars Nicolas Cage and Joel Kinnaman. The premise here is Joel Kinnaman is headed to the hospital. His wife is about to give birth, and when he gets into the hospital parking garage, before he gets a chance to get out of his car, Nicolas Cage hops in the back seat and says "drive" and holds a gun up to him. And so what you have here is Nicolas Cage telling Joel Kinnaman to be like to drive around, and the whole movie's like sort of a cat and mouse type game where you're trying to figure out why Nicolas Cage chose Joel Kinnaman's character. Was it random? Because he seems to know him at the beginning, but you're not really sure what's going on. Joel Kinnaman, of course, is like, dude, who are you? You have the wrong guy. I'm just trying to get to the hospital to be with my wife while she gives birth. And, it's not very good. It plays out exactly how you would expect. The only thing that I'll say about it is that the director clearly just told Nicolas Cage to just go wild, because this is full on, unadulterated, no holds barred Cage here. He is nuts in this movie, like for no reason. The things that he says, the way that he acts, he has this really weird like Bostonian accent. I think it's from a Boston accent. He's got this bright red hair. He is like, I mean, this is 100% crazy Nick Cage. So if you are feeling like, man, I could use some crazy Cage, this one is definitely crazy Cage. He goes wild in this one. He's like killing people. He's like singing and dancing and screaming and like talking about all kinds of weird stuff. So yeah, this is definitely crazy Nick Cage. The movie itself is ugly. I do not like the color palette. It's one of those movies where everything is kind of neon looking, and I just don't like that. Like, I don't like the look of it. If you see the poster, like if you look on Letterboxd, the little header thing and then the poster kind of gives you an idea of what the movie looks like, and I just don't like that color palette at all.
No, it looks like when everyone's trying to go for fuck is his name? Winding Refn.
Yeah.
Knockoffs. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's kind of how this is too. It's violent at times, but it's not like it's not crazy, like gory or anything like that. But yeah, it does seem to try to go for the Winding Refn style. And it just doesn't work. And it plays, like I said before, it's not, there's no big surprises here. Like the way it turns out is exactly how you expect. So I don't recommend it unless you're really itching for some crazy Nick Cage, in which case, you'll get that. You will definitely get that.
The only other thing I have to talk about is the British movie. It Always Rains on Sunday. I don't think I talked about this last week, but I wanted to.
I don't think so. No.
This is like a 1947 noir movie from England, from Robert Hamer, and I mean, it's pretty straightforward in terms of this woman, her fiance. She got the ring, everything. Then he disappeared. He's on the run. Boom, he gets busted. He's in prison. Cut to years later, she's married with kids, and bam, he escapes from prison and shows up at her door. And it's her trying to like hide him and feed him and get him like back out, on the road or whatever, without her family noticing that he's in the house with them, right? So relatively straightforward. But the really interesting thing about this movie that I don't know if I've really seen that often is so much of this film is spent with the other members of the family, like the husband, the daughters, and the son, doing like they have like their own B side plots, right? So they're doing these things, they're leaving the house, what they're doing when they leave the house, this and that. Other characters show up too that are involved in these B plots. And then at the end, like all those B plots, they're not resolved. Like they don't matter, because like at the end, it's just this guy running from the police because that was the main story all along, right? So it's just really interesting to see a movie that spends so much time developing all these like B-side plot type things, and then just all of that being thrown out the window because now the police are finally chasing the guy that the main story is about, even though for much of the movie, it wasn't really the main plot line. You know what I mean? Like it was always there, but it was just like they periodically just popped in to be like, oh, he's awake now. Now he's eating. Okay. And then it would go back to the other stuff. So it was like the main plot was like a detour throughout the majority of the movie until, you got the police chase. And the police chase is phenomenal, So most of it takes place in the the train yards.
Is it so? It's like a foot chase.
Oh, it's a foot chase. They're hopping on trains.
Oh, nice.
They're hopping off of trains. They're crawling under trains. Like at one point, it kind of looked like they were using like model trains, which had a cool look to it. Because it's all black and white at night.
Yeah,
you got all the steam and everything. Oh man, it's everything that you would want.
Yeah, this movie sounds awesome. Love that cover too.
Yeah, this is on Criterion.
Cool. Check that out. It always rains on Sunday.
Always. Every Sunday. And guess what? In the movie, Sunday, rained.
Oh,
every Sunday.
Man.
But yeah.
Nice.
Thematic, right?
All right, let's take a look and see what we have in theaters this week. We got Retribution, which is a Liam Neeson action thriller from the looks of it. I thought he was done with that. Remember, like, several years ago, he came out and was like, "Yeah, I'm done with the action movies," and they just kept doing them. Like, there wasn't even a break. He just kept doing it. It's not like when Soderbergh said he was retiring, and then there was like a brief period where he didn't do anything.
I think that it's easier said than done. You know what I mean? Like, you can say, I'm not doing those. And then the bills show up. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, shit, that's right. I got to do these.
That's right. I forgot. I have to.
Fucking mortgage. God damn.
You know, when you, and also like when you hit that level of fame, like a Liam Neeson level, like you gotta, like your lifestyle has, like, you need to, you know, you can downgrade to a certain degree, but yeah, exactly. The expenses you have. I mean, when you're that big, you're basically running a business. Like, you are a business at that point. Like, you have employees that you're paying and stuff. Anyway, Retribution, I don't really know anything about it. It's probably super generic Liam Neeson stuff from the looks of it.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Gran Turismo coming out. From gamer to racer. That's the tagline. You guys couldn't come up with anything better than from gamer to racer. This is actually based on a true story. I mean, if they were gonna do a Gran Turismo movie, I think that this is kind of the best way that they could do it. With that being said, I still think the movie doesn't look very good, and I'm not really interested in it.
No.
It looks
bad.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad. So I don't think that I'll be bothering with it. Certainly not in the theater. We also have Bottoms coming out. This one I am interested in, although, again, I don't think that I really need to see that in the theater. That's pretty much it for theaters on VOD this week. Starting with the 22nd, we have The List. Looks like a rom-com. We got Metalocalypse, Army of the Doomstar. Whoa. Man, I'll tell you, 2023 is the year of the Adult Swim comeback. We had the Aqua Teen movie, we got the Venture Brothers movie, and now we have the Metalocalypse movie.
There you go.
You know, I knew that this movie was coming out, unlike the Venture Brothers one. I knew about this one. And I was like, oh, man, I'm going to do what I did with Venture Brothers, and I'm going to rewatch Metalocalypse. And I watched the first episode, and I'm like, oh, man, this does not hold up. I'm not going to be able to continue this.
I never liked that show.
I
could not get into it.
I never loved it like I did Venture Brothers, but I always kind of enjoyed it. But watching the first episode, I quickly realized, like, there's no way that I can binge this show. Like, there's just, the shtick is kind of like every episode is kind of uses the same shtick, and I was just like, that's just no way. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Either way, I mean, I might check out the movie. It seems like it could be cool. We have Gump, the dog that taught people to love.
What?
Yeah, dude. I saw this when I pulled up the list, and I was like, what is this? Gump, the dog that taught people to love.
It's how you spell Gump? Is it Gump?
Like Forrest Gump, yeah. Like Forrest Gump.
Oh, man. There's nothing on... I'm typing that, and I'm not getting anything on Letterboxd.
Yeah, it says a feel-good story that highlights the need for friendship, family, and, for many, dogs in our lives. Told through the eyes of a stray dog called Gump. On a journey to find his way home to his owner, Gump encounters many challenges, meets new people, and makes a few canine friends along the way.
Oh, nice.
I will say this. I've said this before. Just, we need some people to make good dog movies. Like, there's so few good dog movies, you know, just...
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a palate cleanser for those foul-mouthed dogs.
From Strays.
Up a storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cussing up a storm.
I can't believe that.
Just disrespectful dogs.
Yeah, just those potty-mouthed, nasty dogs. We also have Ashkal, The Tunisian Investigation. We got Bootyology. Bootyology. That is the name of the movie that is coming out. On the 25th, we have The Admirer. We got Bank of Dave. The Dive. And I think that is it for VOD.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm looking at Bootyology. I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
No ifs, no ands, only buts. The Booty Boys.
The Booty
Brian
Boys.
Austin Green. Brian Austin Green.
Wow, Brian Austin Green. Nice. Making a comeback big time with Bootyology.
Incredible.
As far as Netflix goes, I'm not really seeing anything of note here. On the 30th, we have The Great Seduction coming out. And that's pretty much it. On Blu-ray this week, got Weird Science coming out in 4K. That's on Arrow. Arrow previously released that. This is just, I believe, just an upscaled version. Got The Nightmare Before Christmas coming out in 4K. We got Hackers coming out in 4K. This is a Shout Factory release. And they're also releasing, there's a Best Buy exclusive steelbook of this, and the steelbook is really cool looking. So,
Best Buy still exists?
Yeah, it does.
Get out of here.
Yep. It does indeed exist.
Wow.
We have Night of the Hunted coming out in 4K. That is an Indicator series limited edition. Legend of Zorro from 2005 coming out in 4K. Same with Elizabeth from 1998. We got Coma from 1978 coming out. A Moment of Romance from 1990. The Rape of the Vampires coming out in 4K. That's from 1968, and that is also going to be a limited edition Indicator series. Both that and Night of the Hunted are directed by Jean Rollin. We got Pretty Baby from 1978. That Metalocalypse movie is also coming out on Blu-ray. The Blackening, which I would recommend that. Give it a light recommend. You Hurt My Feelings, which I remember you thinking was pretty good.
Yeah, I'd recommend that one.
Spirit Halloween, the movie.
What?
That came out earlier this year, I think. Spirit Halloween, the movie. Or maybe it came out last Halloween. I don't remember. And then that's pretty much it. I do see an anime here that I thought had an interesting title, and that's Reincarnated as a Sword. So if you want to check out the complete collection of Reincarnated as a Sword, that's going to be on Blu-ray. Do you remember when anime was impossible to find here in the States? And if you wanted to buy anime, it was like $300 for like 3 episodes.
I just remember like all imports being absolutely ridiculous. Trying to find things, but now it's just like we're overrun with anime.
Oh yeah, there's so much, like with like even, I mean, not even including like the Blu-ray releases, which it seems like everything is getting a Blu-ray release over here in the States. You have like Crunchyroll and Funimation, and even Netflix and Hulu are just dropping tons and tons of anime over here, and some of them are even simulcast with when they air over in Japan. So, geez, I mean, most people listening to this are probably too young to remember, but back in the day, like if you were an anime fan, it was tough. It was tough finding stuff.
Dude, I remember. Do you remember when like Borders like first got a manga section, and it was just like half a shelf, and it's just like, oh, cool, manga's showing up, and then next thing you know, it's just, good lord,
yeah, it just exploded. I mean, I think that's really cool. Like when I just remember when we first started getting into that, and like there would be a very small selection of anime titles at Borders, and they were all so expensive. Like the DVDs that they had, they were so expensive, and it was never like a full season of anything either. It was always like 3 episodes of something. It's crazy. What about Criterion's this week?
Oh, we got one, and that's a box set. We got Bo Widerberg's New Swedish Cinema,
Ooh,
which is, I think, four movies from 63 to 69.
nice. That sounds exciting. Oh, I'm actually looking here. I missed one. Hardcore is getting a new Blu-ray release from 1979. Definitely recommend checking out Hardcore. That's the Paul Schrader one.
Hell yeah.
All right, I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. And if you could, please consider giving us a review on your podcast platform of choice. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.